So it's hovering on me just a little bit. So might need to be doing some adjustments with the elevator, it looks like. Yep, you can see it's diving when I get it inverted. So good thing I started out in the high rates. And it might be a little bit nose light with 2200. I'm sure it usually is going to fly better with the 3200, but I think it's even climbing in those banks. So definitely an elevator mechanical adjustment I need to make. You can see it's just going to snap right over. Way too much up elevator. I don't know if, I think it tells you not to do trim, but let's adjust it just a little bit and see what happens here. That sun trying to come back out. We use a rudder to push it around just a little bit. We're going to be able to get this on the ground with no problem. Just it's a little bit nerve-wracking. You see it climbing over the top. I'm pushing down on the elevator as I come around. So to go inverted, it's going to be a lot of down elevator, and I don't want to try to do that. You can see it's able to climb out though, and that was the big reason I wanted to go to the 4S battery or motor. The previous 10 that I had was only a 3S, and it really struggled if I got it in the hover like that. See it come in pretty nice and slow. So let's bring it around, bring it in for the landing, and we'll call that, boy, that sun right in my eyes. Here we go. A little bit hard on the landing because I slowed it down so much, but we're back on the ground. I'm Grandpa Gary, and I just got here. This is day 2 with the Mamba, and as you guys just seen, the initial maiden flight didn't go so great. I made a critical error when I was setting this up. I forgot to make sure that all the control surfaces were nice and straight. We've gone through and adjusted all the clevises so that the control surfaces are nice and straight, and we're ready to get this thing back up in the air and see how it does. All right, this airplane comes from the factory with 3 modes. The first mode not having gyros, second mode low rates with gyros, and then this mode with the highest rates and the most gyros. They say this is best for the slow flying 3D type stuff, and from experience, because I had one of these Mambas previously, I know that I like it with the high rates. And wind is coming out of the southeast today, so let's taxi over this way just a little bit, and we'll take off at a slight angle, something about like that. All right, all clear. A little bit of up elevator as I take off. Much straighter on the takeoff there. Everything way more dialed in today, and it's kind of what I expected. I've had a few Mambas, or a couple Mambas, and I know that I really like them. Dealing with quite a bit of sun today. It is nice and bright. One thing about this airplane is it comes with a 3S motor, and before I even flew it, I upgraded to the 4S motor so that I'd have a little bit extra power. I have upgraded the prop to the one they suggest for this 4S motor. It looks to be carbon fiber. I'm not sure exactly. About quarter throttle right there. About half throttle holding it up. Making sure we get above that lamppost. Lots of authority with that rudder. This is just a maiden, and as I stated, we do have a little bit of wind coming on. Roll rates pretty ridiculous on this airplane. In these high rates, can put it into the lower rates, so let's go ahead and do that. Still with a little bit of gyro helping with the wind here. Having to give it a lot more throw on the sticks, of course, being low rate. And give yourself a second to get used to that when you switch over, because like that right there, I needed a lot more control, and you can see the lower rate. That was full stick movement for that roll. So going back to the high rates, I did bring a UMX plane with me today to try and fly, but I think it's just a little too much wind for it. Boy, that just about stopped on that landing, so let's bring it back around. Maybe keep the throttle up just a little bit more for the landing. Let's bring it in a little more across the field here. Here we go, about a third on the throttle. Much more respectable on that landing. We're on the downwind, so doing the knife edge is a little bit weird. Into the wind would be much better because the airspeed at slower speeds makes it look way more impressive, but as everybody already knows, I like doing my knife edge from right to left, and unfortunately today that is not the best for the wind. So I am flying a 4S 2200. They say for your first flight you should only go about 3.5 minutes. So let's go ahead and land this. There we go, we're on the ground. Let's see if we can turn this around without it getting too crazy with this wind. It feels good to be back out here at the church parking lot with an airplane. It's been quite a while. So, what a great flying airplane. The Mamba 10, this is what they call the G1. The G2 is a 6S plane. Maybe someday I'll get that airplane, but I wanted to try the 4S in the same airplane. I have a lot of 4S batteries that will work for this. I will be trying the 3200 in here next. Like the 50C power or burst power for this worked out great. And I am flying a Spectrum battery, but it is old. If you guys remember, I used to have an E-flite F-15, and I bought this battery for that plane. So that's how long ago I bought this battery, and it's still doing great. I love these Spectrum batteries. Guys, if you're wanting this airplane, I will have it linked in the description box, and I appreciate everybody's support. Until next time, I'm Grandpa Gary.